In today's video, we're gonna do some Spiral test hands and combos so that you guys can better see what this deck is still capable of. Even though this deck was in its prime like 6 years ago, it's still pretty decent in today's format just because of how powerful some of the cards still are. So with all that being said, I'm gonna finish shuffling up and do a going first test hand, then a going second test hand. Just a quick note, the proxy in the main deck is Clockwork Knight, and the proxy in the extra deck is Utopic Draco Future, so I do apologize for those, but just so you know. So we're going to start things off with a Machine Duplication, Infinite Impermanence, Spiral Resort, and Quick Fix, and Spiral Resort. So this is probably one of the best going first hands that we can open, simply because we have Quick Fix and Machine Duplication. So if you guys don't know, this combo gets you very, very far just because of how powerful a card like Quick Fix is. So I'm going to show you guys how you can do that. We're going to start things off by activating the Spiral Resort, and the Spiral Resort is going to let us add any Spiral monster from our deck to our hand. It's probably just going to be the Sleeper. In case our combo gets disrupted later on, we at least have access to Sleeper guaranteed. But also, we want to put this face up first because it prevents our Spiral monsters from being targeted, so it turns off cards like Ghost Mourner, Infinite Impermanence, and Effect Veiler. So we're going to start by normal summoning Quick Fix. Quick Fix effect is going to let us add any Spiral Gear card from our deck to our hand. It doesn't really matter which one you add here because you're going to get to all the other ones in the combo later on. So we're going to activate the Machine Duplication next, targeting the Quick Fix to special summon out 2 copies of Quick Fixes from our deck, and then both their effects are going to trigger, which is just honestly incredible. The only one that matters is you have to add 1 copy of drones and 1 copy of Big Red somewhere amongst the 3 searches, but the other searches just literally don't matter. You're going to get through all the gears in your deck this combo. So we're going to search double drones and a Big Red, and then from here we're going to link the 2 Quick Fixes off for a double Helix. So before we use double Helix effect, we want to use Quick Fix in the graveyard first, discarding the drone specifically to summon itself out since we control Spiral Super Agent. That's going to trigger Quick Fix effect, which is going to add us any Spiral Gear card from our deck to our hand. I'm just going to grab a Last Resort here just so we have a Spiral Sleeper and Last Resort set up anyways, if somehow our opponent has something later on in the combo. Before we go any further, we want to activate Big Red, targeting the drones to summon it back. Drone's effect lets us stack the top 3 cards for opponent's deck, so not only are they drawing a worse card for turn, but we also now know what their top card is, so we can call it with double Helix correctly. So I'm just going to overlay these 2 here first for a copy of Recital Starling. Recital Starling is going to boost up double Helix, probably won't matter, but just in case. We're going to detach the Quick Fix specifically to add a copy of our DD Crow from our deck to our hand as extra disruption, but also get Quick Fix back to the grave most importantly. Next up, we're going to activate the Quick Fix Engrave, discarding our extra copy of drones, triggering its effect again, and we're just going to add a copy of drones from our deck to our hand. Drones is actually pretty good to have engrave as well, just because you can banish it in another Spiral card to add a Super Agent back from our graveyard, and we're going to get access to Super Agent through double Helix's effect now, where we're going to add Super Agent directly to our hand, since we already have access to Spiral Sleeper and Last Resort. Next up, we are going to overlay the 2 Quick Fixes for a copy of Sylvan Princess Sprite, and then activate the top card of our deck. It's a Droll and Lockbird, doesn't really matter, because now we have 2 rank 1s that we can overlay for a copy of our Utopic Future. And then on top of that, we're going to overlay Draco Utopic Future. So I apologize for the proxy, but this is Utopic Draco Future. And this is one part of our end board that's already pretty hard to out because it can be destroyed by battle or card effects, which can be very difficult for some decks just to out. Not to mention the rest of our Spiral boards are also not going to be targetable and unable to be destroyed by a battle card effect, which is just kind of insane. So next up here, we're going to keep it simple. Activate the Quick Fix effect to be able to special summon itself out. And then by discarding drones, that's going to trigger Quick Fix to add Utility Wire. And then just a quick note, I did realize there's a slight misplay. I should have summoned Super Agent directly to the field from double Helix. And the reason being is we're going to need 1 extra Super Agent on the board to keep our Utility Wire alive at the end of the combo. So just pretend double Helix actually summoned Super Agent out to the board instead of adding it to my hand. Link away these all for a copy of our Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. And then from here, we're going to activate drones, banishing itself and another Spiral card to add Super Agent back to our hand. And this is why I needed Super Agent on the board to begin with, so we can actually leave it on board to keep Utility Wire alive. So now we can call the top card of our opponent's deck, special summon Super Agent, since we know what it is. And then from here, just very simply summon Sleeper by banishing just any 3 Spiral cards. Probably want to get rid of everything but like 1 Quick Fix and Drone. And then from here, we are going to special summon out Sleeper, equip Last Resort to it, so now it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and none of your Spiral cards other than Resort can be targeted by card effects. So this is already a very difficult board for your opponents to out, in addition to having to deal with a Phoenix Wing Wind Blast and an Infinite Impermanence, plus DD Crow and follow-up. That's going to do it for the very first test hand. We did open very well with Machine Duplication and Quick Fix, but the fact of the matter is we have so many ways to actually get to Quick Fix that even if we didn't open Quick Fix itself, we'd probably still be able to get there just because we have cards like Foolish Burial Goods, we have Terraforming, and Spiral Resort, plus 3 copies of Quick Fix itself. Alright, so finishing shuffling up, we're going to be doing a going second test hand now, just to see what this deck is actually capable of putting up when breaking boards, because this deck is very capable of making boards, and now I want to show you guys this deck has in-engine ways to actually break boards as well. So we're going to start with Droll and Lockbird, 1-for-1, Super Agent, and Drones, plus Quick Fix. So we're going to Droll and Lockbird our opponent, draw for turn, draw Ash Blossom. What we're going to do now is, assuming our opponent has a couple disruptions, you probably want to hold 1-for-1 for last, because this is your big power card to bring out Quick Fix, and the Quick Fix alone can combo. So what we probably want to start with is start by normal summoning Drones. Drones effect is going to look at the top 3 cards of our opponent's deck, and from there activate Super Agent to special summon itself and destroy Spiral Trap our opponent controls. Next up, from here, what we can do is just link these 2 away for a copy of Double Helix, and then Double Helix effect, call the top card of our opponent's deck. This is probably going to force out whatever hand trap they have. If they do have a hand trap, it's not the end of the world, because we do have 1-for-1 to discard Quick Fix, summon Quick Fix, and then get a bunch of bodies on the board to start link climbing, and we can win the game from there. But if our opponent doesn't have anything, what we can do is Double Helix adds a copy of Spiral Sleeper from our deck to our hand. Now we're going to activate the 1-for-1, discarding the Quick Fix to summon out a copy of Quick Fix directly from our deck. That's going to trigger its effect to add any Spiral Gear card from our deck to our hand, and that's going to be a copy of Spiral Gear Big Red. So Big Red is the Monster Reborn, of course, and what we're going to do is bring back other copy of Quick Fix just to get another search right away. Quick Fix is going to let us add a copy of Spiral Gear Drones from our deck to our hand, just as extra discard fodder later on in the combo. And then we're going to overlay these 2 for a copy of our Recital Starling to boost up our Double Helix, to activate Recital Starling to add a copy of DD Crow from our deck to our hand. Like, it's probably not going to matter in this combo, but it's just an extra discard fodder later on. We're going to use Quick Fix, discarding Drone, summoning itself back, and that's going to trigger it again. And then this time I think you want to go for Last Resort, just so you're able to guarantee a Sleeper pop 2. And then from here, just very simply, like, what you can do is link away these 2 for a copy of Unicorn, shuffle one of our opponent's cards away if they need to, and then access code on top of that, plus 3k. And then just bring down a Spiral Sleeper, and that's 8100 damage because it's 53 plus 28. And then equip Last Resort, pop 2 more cards if you need, and just attack for game from there. Well, you can do a lot more with like link climbing plays and whatnot, but this is just a very simple explanation of what you're trying to do. Just pretty much set up a bunch of bodies on the board, and then if you establish Sleeper as well, that's great, because now you have extra clears of their board, and you can go in and push for lethal. So that's going to do it for the combo tutorial. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know by leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing. But with all that being said, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.